In Response, a legacy podcast, is brought to you by greatness@anycost.com and Austrian-legacy.com. Welcome to the 8th episode of
In Response.
A legacy podcast.
I'm Philip Klein,
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Peter Plank,
and we're talking about legacy.
most of the time.
So, due to our schedule, we would be recording next week, but we have to do it this week because Daniel and myself are on vacation next week.
Yeah. What are you doing actually?
I'm just at my girlfriend's at the lake, so just chilling out because I had this year no vacation at all. So I just took 2 days off just for my well-being and for mental health, because you can't just work all year. It's just
Is it
doesn't
just
work.
2 days then?
It's just 2 days,
Okay.
yeah. And I have to work on Saturday, so it's more like a free day weekend.
Okay.
So it's not really a vacation, but it confronts with our podcasting schedule. So we're doing it now a week sooner.
Yeah.
And yeah, where are you going next week, Daniel?
I have a short trip with my co-workers, and we're going hiking in the so-called Habachtal.
Okay.
It is a place where you can, let's say, grind some.
PTQs.
I really wish it was like that. No, I mean you can grind some minerals.
Okay.
You could do that, for example, emeralds.
Okay, that sounds really cool, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Could be an easy way to get the Mox Emerald.
oh yeah, I'll try to get one. Yeah,
At least an altered one.
yeah. But I think the yield wouldn't be that high. They are very rare, and we are a small group of our coworkers. I think we are about 15 people. Some are going to collect some emeralds there. But I will go hiking and visit some mountains which are nearby, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
Okay, so you don't bring some emeralds
No.
with you?
I'm not into that.
So
Okay.
we will get some pretty good views on
Yeah,
some pictures.
I hope so.
Yeah, if you, I would love to see some of the emeralds. I'm very
Sure,
interested.
yeah. Sure. If someone finds some interesting,
take a picture and we post it on Twitter.
of course.
Yeah.
It's
can-
really cool. I didn't know that something like this existed. So
I mean, it is, I think, an old mine there, and it is abandoned. What I
Okay.
know, and I don't know how you call it, but I can try to describe it. It is. There is the mine is a little bit upwards, and over the years there's a small
Like
Ri-
water flowing down.
like
And-
a small river,
yeah.
Okay.
and the minerals kind of
Are getting washed out.
getting washed out and spread over the river downwards
Yeah.
into the whole valley.
Okay.
And so there's basically one little trail where you can try to collect some minerals in the river.
Yeah.
Or you could even go up to the mine itself and try to collect some there. But
So
I find it very boring.
do you have to?
You have
pay
to
for
wash. You have to
them,
wash
or-
the the minerals from the river, basically. With
like
with a sieve.
the gold washers
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the
Exactly,
The Klondike
the
River.
Western movies.
Yeah,
Okay.
it works. You
Like
have
the Klondike.
Yeah, Klondike River.
You have some kind of sieve, and you're washing the minerals and hope to get something out. of it.
Okay. And do you have to pay for it, or
No.
is it free to do?
Okay.
Okay.
It's free to do.
Oh, that
Is
sounds
is
really
it
cool.
more common for any other ores, or is it specifically for emerald there?
Specifically for emerald, yeah.
Okay.
From, at least what I've been told.
Okay.
I don't think you can find any other minerals there.
Okay.
or very unlikely. I think even emerald is very unlikely, but I mean, maybe small pieces could be found.
Okay.
And we have one professor at our institute is you know, when you have these raw minerals, you can shape them into pretty little
Gems?
Gems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is, and he does it as a hobby, and it makes good money out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
He specifically is quite fond of searching and finding one little piece of emerald to turn it into a gem, of course,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can get
to increase
because-
its value.
Yeah, it's very important because the purity of the stone is very important,
Yeah.
and the color, as far as I know. So I think you can certainly find a lot more emerald if it's the stones are the same, yeah.
Yeah.
But they just look different.
Mhm.
So even if you have a stone that's an emerald and
Mhm.
that doesn't look like you think it would,
Mhm. Mhm.
so I could probably see you find a lot more than you think
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
So
But we have the expert there, and
Yeah.
I think he has some kind of kit and a good knowledge about all the different gems and minerals that we might be able to
Okay.
differentiate between all
Mm.
kind of minerals that might be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, if it's a big hobby of him, he will be.
Oh yeah.
He will.
he will be prepared.
Yeah. He.
For sure.
It's just like someone is collecting flowers or something like that. He will knew the different minerals and the gems.
Yeah. So how long will you be there?
It's from Monday until Wednesday, so we stay there 2 nights,
Okay.
and we have basically 3 days to cover. Go hiking, go on a search hunt for emeralds, or just drinking.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
So-
for you, it's drinking and hiking.
Basically, yes.
So this is basically a team building event for you guys.
Probably yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a yearly institute trip.
Okay.
Of
But not
ours.
yearly to find emeralds.
No. It's
Okay.
it's every year it's something different, and
Sapphires, emeralds.
yeah.
Sometimes load.
For example, yeah, last year we went to Hammersmith,
Okay.
and we watched her, and we with Myth one it was
A knife?
basically no, it was not a knife, it was a holder for a candle,
Okay.
candle holder, let's say,
Yeah.
Okay.
out of metal, and yeah, it was quite nice actually.
But it was nothing for you, actually.
No.
so-
It was one big piece that we collected at our institute.
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, and we have every year we have a new activity, and every year a new guy. Since we are students, basically,
Yeah.
and our co-workers and our members are changing a lot.
Okay.
Since new guys are coming and others are finishing,
Mhm.
the new guys have to organize the events.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
It is
but
also some kind of ritual to be introduced into the whole group, let's say,
Okay.
to take over a task and do something for everybody.
But I think this is pretty good
I think it's really cool. I mean,
because you get to know the. I mean, it depends what you are personally liking, but if you have to plan a trip for the whole institute,
Yeah.
you will do something like you think they enjoy, but you will enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah.
So what was your trip?
Yeah, it was this trip basically.
Okay, so you
But
planned this trip.
I planned it together with another colleague. I have to be honest, I did not do most of the work because of COVID. It was not sure if we had a trip at all this year.
Okay.
And originally we kind of had it was on the verge of being cancelled altogether. and but one colleague of ours decided to plan something anyway,
Okay.
with a little bit of more COVID friendly approach, let's say, and then I helped him since I had the task originally, so
Okay.
I helped him, but I didn't have much to do actually. A little bit of planning, and we had one or two, let's say, meetings where we discussed a few things, and I organized basically the
drinking part.
the drinking part. No. The organization with the bedrooms, and I basically collected the members who would come and who stayed at home and stuff like that.
Okay.
The problem more logistics.
Logistics, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to do. So
Yeah,
It's an important part. So
Yeah.
but that's why we are recording this week
so
For us, yeah.
for us.
for
yeah.
us.
Unless Peter wants to do a lonesome podcast.
I mean, no.
Handsome.
Handsome.
Maybe I will.
Lonesome handsome.
Maybe I will stream next week.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, what are the topics today?
so
So yeah, we have some topics. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't talked about Peter yet.
Yeah.
I think so.
What's up with Peter?
Yeah, what are you doing for your leisure time at the moment?
I have 1 month until the university starts for me, so I try to do something for myself in the summer. And a friend of mine told me that I have to go to the gym, and
That's the reason you did.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean,
Who
So
was this?
who is this guy?
I mean, both of you don't know him.
Mhm.
It's Florian. It's a very, very good friend of mine. I know him since I was in kindergarten, and he started with going to the gym in January, I think, this year. And he went from 134 kilogram down to 110 or something like that, and is pretty much shaped like Arnold Schwarzenegger now. So
Okay.
and he said I have to join him on the gym.
But did you know that if you want to look like Schwarzenegger, 80% of that is just diet?
Yeah, I told him that I don't want to look like
Yeah.
him. I'm not interested in looking sporty, having a six pack or something like that. I'm really not into that. I just want to be a little bit more healthy. So I started with going to gym. I usually go there 3 times a week. And yeah, on Monday yesterday I hold my breath for the first time for a whole hour, because I was watching a series I'm currently watching.
To clarify, you were running on a treadmill.
It's not now. It's the cross trainer.
It's a cross trainer. Okay, so
I really don't enjoy running, but I think the cross trainer is something for me,
okay.
and I really enjoy the workout on it. And yeah, I was watching 13 Reasons Why, and it was so interesting. So I ran a whole hour, and yeah, it was really
You just
good.
forget the time and
Yeah,
just watch the show.
I mean, I wanted to do a whole hour in the training itself, but I was planning on doing it in 2 parts,
Okay.
because normally I'm drinking a lot of water and I need to refill my bottle in between. And yeah, I just ran through without water for the last 15 minutes. So but yeah, it's looking good, and I'm
Yeah,
getting
you
more
can be
healthy.
proud of yourself. So, and I actually think that going to the gym just to feel better about oneself, or
Increase the fitness.
Yeah.
to just
be
be
healthier.
healthy is probably the right reason to do it. I don't think getting in shape is also being healthy, but
You mean building a muscle?
Yeah.
just looking good is probably the wrong reason to do it,
Yeah, I
because
just
you
Also for your physical
for your physical, because
appearance.
for physical appearance, because you don't have the longevity for it. So
And I mean, if you do that, you have to keep training and
Yeah,
keep training
I mean,
because
that's what I mean. Yeah,
It's certainly possible, but you really have to want it and to be consistent about it.
yeah. Just being healthy is probably way easier,
It
and
is-
it's
there's-
better than doing
course.
nothing, because the goal to be physically or
Yeah.
to be physically fit and to build muscle and
Yeah.
to be lean and everything. Although it's a great goal,
Yeah,
but it's just such a big goal that is for most people.
Hard to reach. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
and
for
like I
a lot
said,
of people. So
Like I
just
said,
being healthy is great.
definitely, yeah. And like I said before, when you want to build up muscles, diet is key.
yeah,
And
definitely.
in general, I think also when you want to be healthy, diet is in general key.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's this, I think this is a correct saying that says you cannot out-exercise a bad diet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
And some people, or let's say in our society, there's kind of this, do you know these people that say, oh, I don't know, I had an exercise for half an hour, now I can eat a pizza, or now I'm let's say I'm eligible to kind of eat what I want because I exercised, and now I can cheat and eat sweets or eat snacks and all this bullshit, basically.
Yeah,
This is basically the wrong point here.
I mean, if you want to get healthy, this is definitely the wrong point.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
actually, being healthy should be
Should be the goal.
the number one goal here.
I mean,
so
for myself, it was. I don't want to strict myself and exclude something from what I want to eat because I want to keep eating how I do now. I mean, I'm cooking myself a few times. I'm eating a lot with my grandma because we're living in the same household. So she's cooking. She's cooking. I would be the one that is cooking, but
We have the title of our show tonight.
cooking with your grandma. So we are cooking for each other, and so we are eating pretty much healthy. But it's if you if you know the elderly women, they are cooking really fat, and and so it's won't get much more healthier from the food. So I have to compensate it with training.
Yeah, of course. It's also a balance of calories at the end of the day.
So yeah,
So you're a lot into sports lately, or let's say you're trying to be.
yeah, mostly the gym, but
Okay,
yeah,
that's great.
as I said,
you were cycling
but-
also in
Yeah.
Finland, so
I will try to do more cycling next year when I'm
Okay.
a little
You
bit
should
more
do,
fitter,
yeah.
so that I can do longer rounds. Because if I want to go cycling, I want to do, let's say, a trip for one day with 100 to 130 kilometers or
Yeah.
something like that, like a small trip, basically. Because if I
That's great.
was
I love this
15, I drove home from Paris
Yeah, that's cool.
by bike.
Yeah,
And
I
this
like
was
this. This is really cool.
Pretty cool trip.
I
would say.
once last weekend I had plans to drive the bike to the Traunsee
Okay.
from Linz. It's a small trip of about 80 kilometers or something like
One way or both ways?
one way.
Okay. So you're one day down,
that's
then
50
go
miles,
bathing?
60 miles.
Something like that, 50,
50 to
60
60
miles.
miles.
50 to 60
I
miles.
had plans for that, but bad weather
Yeah.
struck me better, and I
This
couldn't do it.
weekend was not that great.
Because I have a landed racing bike
Okay.
from a friend of mine. You know them.
Yeah,
It is one guy of Austrian Legacy League, of course.
Okay.
He lended me the bike for my triathlon that I
Okay.
had 3 weeks.
Who was it?
past. It is shoutouts to Michael Höller.
Ah, Hölle Michael. Okay. Yeah.
Great guy, and he I talked about him that I was going to attend a triathlon with my own shitty bike.
It's a trekking bike, so
Yeah, it
a
is.
city trekking bike.
It is
yeah.
a city trekking bike with, I don't know, 20 kilos or something like that. It's unacceptable. And
It wouldn't be acceptable.
yeah, he couldn't stand it if I drove to the triathlon with that old shitty bike. So he lended me
His racing bike.
his racing bike, and it's night and day. It is,
It's so much better.
and and I never tried one of those racing bikes before, and now I'm completely hooked.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
if you cycling a lot on the streets,
Yeah.
such racing bikes are
They're
a
so
big
amazing.
big upgrade.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they're even an upgrade to the normal mountain bikes.
sure.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, you are basically tied to
to the street.
to the street and pavement. Off-road is not an option, really.
But if you are in the city,
Ah.
go for it. I mean, they're costing a lot of money. If you want to having
I mean,
a good one,
if
we're
I can afford tools, I can of course also afford some racing bikes.
yeah.
But okay, yeah.
But if you want to have something, I mean, it's hard to say acceptable. I think you have to look into something like from 2.5 to 3.5, 4K, something in there.
That's way too much. You can get a good bike for 2K also.
Yeah. Then you have to. I mean, now is a good time to buy bikes because they are now on sale from from this year, and you can get pretty low prices for the 2018 and 2019 editions. So yeah.
I actually don't get all the fuss with the cycling. I was never a cycling.
You're not
guy,
an athletic
no.
guy, right?
I was
No,
actually.
no.
I was actually. But
You're definitely healthy and fit. But what I meant is you're not into this athletic sports like
I'm not into
endurance
cardio
sports.
actually.
Yeah, cardio,
so,
cardio, yeah. Mhm. Athletic is the wrong word.
Yeah, I have plans to go to the gym again, but my work schedule should allow it also. So
But you're more into weightlifting then.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
for sure more into weightlifting or into MMA.
Okay.
I made.
Can you do that in the gym?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually.
But not in everyone, I think.
No, not everyone. They're specialized.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment I'm not sure if I keep my current gym or if I'm changing it
Mm-hmm.
because it depends on what I want to do. And at the moment it's more about getting more fit and more healthy again, but also with building again a little bit more muscle.
Yeah. Sure.
Not for aesthetics, just for myself and probably for work purposes, because this year I've hit my 30. My 30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now in my 30s. So, and you actually start to feel some wear and tear. And
Really? Okay.
yeah, I have a very physical demanding job as a painter.
Of course.
And
So you need a painter servant.
I know that joke, but that's great. And I do it 12 years now. So this year was the first year where I really started to feel the wear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably due to COVID because I couldn't go to the gym like I normally do, at least one time per week.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept the bare minimum for going to the gym or for making sports outside of work. It's not like 6 years ago, where I went 4 times a week and I was really in the best shape of my life.
Okay.
It was just so great.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, I made. I did at least, I think, 150 deadlift. 150 kilogram deadlift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's a lot, but it was a lot for me. So
It sounds like a lot.
and I almost cracked the 100 kilograms at the, how do you call it? Not chest press.
Foot press.
Bench press.
A
Bench press.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost at the bench press, and I cracked the 100 kilograms at the. The words are flying away from me today. So
If you have the long stuff on your neck.
yeah, for sure. The
Is this a kind of a standing lunge? No.
no,
It is the overhand press.
no, not press with your legs. It's
Okay. Kind of a squat.
it's leg press just without machine, just with free weight. So I simply don't know the word now. But it's okay. I was in a great shape.
Yeah, it's
It
kind of a
was-
leg squats with
a squat. Oh my fuck.
squat.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah,
It's
it was
leg-
squats.
lifted leg squats.
But yeah, I was in a great shape. I'm not sure if I can ever get back there, but because life
Yeah,
is
man.
really demanding.
And
Yeah.
you're getting old, so
Yeah.
It all goes downhill from this point on.
I can work against that, so
Of course, yeah.
I'll try. And
You have to pull the brakes.
yeah, for sure. I mean, COVID actually wasn't really nice to my belly.
I mean it was nice. It was getting bigger.
My belly thought it was nice, but not for me. Yeah, and so probably in October then I'll try to get back to the gym, and yeah, that's what probably what will happen. Besides that, there wasn't really big things that happened in my life. I mean, I bought a Tiger and a Tundra last week.
Woo!
Woo!
Your first Tundra.
Not Tundra.
Volcanic.
Volcanic.
So you're starting to playing Dredgewine. Not Dredgewine, Hollowine in Legacy.
Oxwine.
Oxwine.
Actually, there I need a lot more rules, but I'll build towards that. So
Yeah.
I mean, with a Volcanic and a Tundra
Yeah,
and a Tiger, you can play. How's it called?
I have the mana base for test now.
Okay.
Besides a tropical, I think a tropical.
A tropical is
A
needed
tropical
now,
is
yeah.
needed.
Almost a mana base for test.
How's it called?
And
The combo deck from Modern that was banned away.
The combo deck from Modern? Which card did it play?
The enchantment for 4.
I'm
Splinter Twin.
Yeah, you can
okay.
play Splinter Twin in Legacy.
okay.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
the first volcanic is also really valuable for blue-red Delver.
Yeah.
Because
Of course,
you simply can't play it without at least one Volk.
I think you need 2.
At least two.
At least 2.
At least 2. Ideally 3, but
Ideally
Yeah,
3.
for sure.
But,
Ideally free.
but you can play the Spare Bluff Canal. I mean, Choke is not that relevant nowadays, but
yeah, but it's not fetchable, so
Actually, it's more for my Phoenix build. So, and it's the first one, and there will surely be a second because I've got 2 underground seas now. I probably won't buy the third one.
yeah.
I think the second volcanic has more impact, and
Yeah.
then the tropicals already have more impact than
I
the
think
third
the
underground
first-
sea.
the first tropical should be even before the second volcanic if you are not planning on playing Blue-Red Delver.
Okay.
Because the tropical allows you to play all snow piles because you have now one of each blue.
Yeah,
blue
for
land.
sure, because the snow mana base just plays a Tundra, Savannah, and the Trop. As far as I know.
No,
84 color
a
version
Tundra,
also
a
underground sea.
drop, and UC
Yeah.
or a volcanic.
Okay.
And the UC, I think that the 4-color version even plays now the volcanic main deck and 3 red elemental burst in the sideboard. So you're
Okay.
playing now a 5-color.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
With Astral, everything is
Astral
possible.
Lab,
So,
everything is okay.
Yeah.
but at least I got the mana base for that, so I've got it going for me, which is nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, probably you will see some more unusual decks from me.
I mean, I
Unusual for me because Snowco is very unusual for me.
Oh yeah.
you have to
So
join the
normal
Oko
decks.
side of things.
Hey, I already
Oh,
played
Oro.
Okos. Yeah,
I mean, you played it in the Dredge sideboard.
Yeah, I played it in Dredge sideboard and I played it in the Hogak sideboard. So, and I mean, in Hogak they didn't put in a lot of work. I bought them in, but I haven't. I just cast it once. They got forced.
Yeah, I don't think he
And in Dredge it
does that much.
I'm not sure in Hogak, but in Dredge it won me 2 games. So
So it does something at least.
it does something. I mean, it won games against Stompy decks, mono green Stompy, the dinosaur Stompy thing.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, dinosaur Stompy, but hey, a turn 1 Oko is just great.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
you
like-
can elk the lads, the lotus petals, the narcomoebs or something like that. So if you're getting to hardcast them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they go Leyland Chalice on 1 and you go just land petal Oko,
And say,
that's actually really, really great.
yeah, that's good.
So yeah, speaking of Hogak, we had our season's end tournament from our last Legacy League season
Yeah.
from 2019 and 2020. And the season's end tournament always takes place in the summer, and it's like that. So the top 5 of the season get free entry, but the entry is sponsored by our LGS. So at least 5 people. The money from 5 people, entry from 5 people, is in the prize pool.
It's in the prize pool.
And I'm not sure. I think we had 26 players or 20.
I think it was 25 because we had one buy.
Yeah,
if
we
you
had
remember.
one buy. It was 25 players.
With 20 euros for each player. So
So it was 500 euros were the prize pool. So it was a half K.
yeah,
You could say. I mean,
K.
I'm not sure if there's something like that, but
0.5k.
yeah.
Yeah, the prices were really good. I think it was the new full art fossil for the number 1
Yeah,
player.
non-foil, full art fossil for the first place.
A full art chase.
Full art chase for the second place.
Then 2 and then from the vault the secret lair Scalding Ton for 3rd and 4th, and an Erit Mesa for
No,
fifth.
Marsh Flats.
Was it a Marsh Flats?
It was Marsh Flats, yeah.
Okay, a Marsh Flats for the 5th to 8th player.
So it's
yeah.
a really nice payout, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have played 5 rounds and then cut off top 8. And yeah, I think we all played in this event. It was very fun. Myself, I've played Bug Hogak. And Peter, you played your 4-color painter list.
Yep.
And Daniel, you played your Bug mid-range brew.
No.
So- no?
No, I played Tess.
You played Tess?
Yeah.
Really? I actually was so...
How can you draw 2 times with Tess?
Yeah.
No,
I
at
don't-
the season's end tournament.
yes.
You
yes.
draw 2 times with Tess.
Yes.
let's go to
Okay.
this and let's just
Let
let
examine.
him explain.
Ah,
So how did your tournament went?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think it was kind of my fault. I'm actually an Ant player, so not Tess normally. But Tess is simply the better Storm deck in my opinion right now, and I don't really have much experience with the new version that has Veil of Summer in the main deck and all the artifacts with Mox Opal, Wishclaw Talisman, of course also Lotus Petal and Lions of Diamond. And what I have a little bit of a problem with Tess is the discrepancy between the black and the red mana.
Okay.
Because on the one side you have dark rituals and your Wishclaw Talismans as tutors, and on the other hand, you have Rite of Flame and Burning Wish. And sometimes you kind of need both, and you only have one source of mana available. So if you have a hand with, I don't know, a Dark Ritual, a Rite of Flame, a Burning Wish, sometimes either the Dark Ritual or the Rite of Flame is kind of dead, because you only have one source for the rituals, and you cannot interchange the rituals from going from Dark Ritual to casting Rite of Flame, of course.
Yeah, I think, as you said, there are the Mox Opals in the list. There are, I think, 4 Lotus Petals.
Yeah.
Two in the list. So I think you have to gather the second source for the mana from your artifact mana.
Of course, yeah.
But I see your problem there. It's
you also need the mana for cantripping,
brainstorms, ponders,
casting Veil, or
casting
Veil, and
yeah. I think you have to play the deck a lot to get comfortable.
Yeah.
On managing the mana.
And I had to really, because I want to think my turns through before I go for a combo turn.
Yeah.
I still make some mistakes and miscount something, but I try to at least think through my turn, and I really had to take my time for all the turns, and for each and every turn I had to evaluate my situation. And it simply did take too much time, and therefore I drawed against Raktelvan.
Okay. Was it the first time you played a Tess?
I think it was the second round. No, the first
the
time.
first time you played the deck.
The second time.
The second time.
I did have one. Once I played Tess before, but I performed really badly at the time. I don't know. I think it was a version. It was already after the probe ban.
Okay.
And after the Death Shaman ban also. But it was before the Wishclaw Talisman and Wheel of Summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Wheel of Summer was a pretty huge deal, and Wishclaw Talisman for the whole deck.
Oh yeah,
it changed dramatically since the old days, because Brian Cook released a stats, because earlier you played, I think, about 25% of the time your finisher was Empty the Warrens, and now this is down to, I think, 5 or 6%.
Okay.
You empty is basically just a fringe card.
I think now killing about 70% or 75% with tendrils, which was down to 50% with the early versions.
Yeah,
so
I mean, empty,
it's not the Goblin stack anymore.
Definitely not. Empty was up to a 4 off in the 75.
Yeah.
There were, I think, up to 3 in the sideboard, or 1 or 2 main even.
Yeah.
And now it's just a 1 off in the sideboard as a wish target, and that's it. So it's definitely plan C to D, kind of.
I think it's actually D, because you are killing at first with tendrils.
Yeah, Ad Nauseam is the first card you want to cast.
Ad Nauseam is the
plan
first.
A.
Then plan
B is
Grape Shot,
Tendrils, Grape Shot.
That's the killing card, but the engine or the card that you want to resolve is plan A is Ad Nauseam. Or Echo is kind of.
I think third, because Pier is the second one.
I think Pier is even second, yeah.
Okay, you play Pier also.
And because earlier you would play a Burning Wish for the tutor, and then tutor up Ad Nauseam.
Yeah.
And this is exactly the same mana if you're just
peering,
casting tutor for Pier.
Yeah. So this is basically plan B. And your Echo is a card I like the card because you can quickly, let's say, go for it if you just combine it with one LED and Echo, of course. But I'm not sure when you exactly want to go for it. I mean, there are a lot of spots where you just simply can go for it, but it is very unlikely that you will win if
Yeah.
it resolves.
One thing I like about the Echo when playing Storm variants, and I was experimenting a lot with the Song of Creation combo deck when Song of Creation went live on Modo, is that if you can go for a turn 1 Echo and you have additional mana left or something like that,
You
you
should
should
go
go
for
for
it.
it, because it can really empower your turn 1.
It is.
And-
For example, also if you mulligan, you
Yeah,
basically
you-
unmulligan and have 1 extra mana.
If you keep
It
a
is
5
very
card
good,
hand with land, petal, LED, wish, and I don't know, a second petal or something like that,
Yeah.
it is great because you have 1 petal left, 1 land left, and have now 7 new cards.
And basically, at least
And-
let's say 2 storm,
Yeah, and you mulligan your opponent.
and you mulligan your
Okay.
opponent. Yeah. I mean, not really mulligan, but you,
You give him 7 cards. he
especially after
doesn't-
sideboarding,
can-
they
he
will
can
are more
choose, yeah.
likely to keep or mulligan for counters and I don't know
Specific hate cards.
specific K cards.
Probably
and
specific hate cards
you
because
exchange
I
that for
think
random-
for random cards.
countering the Echo is probably right all the time.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
counter the Echo.
So if
If
he
you
has a
can.
counter,
if
you should
can, yeah.
But
counter it. Yeah.
you are now allowed to grip greedy hands like
Greedy
that.
hand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the deck, and that's the reason why I chose the deck.
Yeah.
Actually.
I think it's good in the meta. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
good in
very
the Storm meta
It's very good.
because there is more graveyard hate than
Oh yeah,
Storm
Graveyard
hate.
is completely
So it's-
Yeah, and-
ineffective
Yeah,
against
and Graveyard hate does nothing against
Nothing.
Tess.
Yeah.
I mean, the only card that you can, of course, hit is Echo,
And Red of Flame.
and maybe Red of Flame.
Yeah, but that's
But
very
that's-
fringe.
That's doesn't
That's
And-
niche.
It's like 4-color painter for me. If an opponent sideboards Graveyard hate, it's just 4 cards. It does hit.
And Red
So-
of Flame gets boarded out quite often, actually.
Okay.
Especially, for example, against Elva. He boarded out all 4 Red of Flames.
What are you boarding in? You're boarding in the Pyro?
No,
Are you
the-
playing Pyroblast?
no Pyroblast. A Decay and Carpet of Flaws, of course.
Okay, yeah. And there's the mana.
Carpet. Okay.
Because Carpet... I think you're playing 2 in the sideboard.
Myself, I played only 2.
Okay.
Because I think for a specific Storm meta, it is not necessary to play more. But Brian's list actually now has full 4.
4, yeah.
4 copies
Okay.
in the sideboard. Specifically for Rugged Elva.
I mean, if you look at the...
We come to the top 8 later, I think.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that would be 7. 7 decks.
so
Yeah, it was surprisingly a high number of Rugged Elva. Yeah. Yeah, that was my tournament.
so with one more win instead of the draw, you would have surely
Oh,
went
yeah.
into
Oh, yeah.
debate.
So
Yeah.
you went 2-1-2. If I don't know if you said
I
it
drawed
already.
2 times, yeah. But I can't remember what was the second matchup that I drawed. I think it was against... Oh, it was against Snowco, I think.
Okay. Was it Fabian Schweighofer?
No?
Okay. I think he had a draw 2, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure actually who.
No, it was Andy. Was it Andy?
No.
Because he had a
I
draw
ca- I
2.
really can't remember, actually.
Doesn't matter actually now.
It's-
Yeah.
But yeah. Against Snowco, I think it is okay to draw. at
Yeah,
least,
it's very.
as
so-
Yeah,
opposed to
it's-
Rugged Elva.
And
Definitely.
do you think you would have fared better with Ant?
No. Especially with the Graveyard Hate that impacts. And I mean, I'm more experienced with
Yeah,
that, of course.
because that's why I'm asking. Because in
Yeah, yeah.
Legacy, the experience is
Maybe,
probably the
yeah.
key.
But I simply cannot find a good end list that I'm satisfied with right now. I would try to build something with Veil of Summer main deck. I think I would even play the full playset and play some additional discard. But my experience with Ant is that I had to go for ad nauseum all the time to play around Graveyard Hate. And ad nauseum is such a bad card in Ant. It is a completely unreliable, and oftentimes you just die from it, or you have to stop and then you have to pass the turn and try to go for it next turn which is
because
bad.
the curve is simply too high.
yeah, it is just high. Ent is not really an Northern deck.
Which is funny because it's in the name of.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But the plan A of Ent is
Past in
Past in
Flames.
Flames.
It's a Past and Flames deck.
It's a Past in Flames deck. Yeah.
I think that
Do you think it's because Cyrus Gorman Gill had stopped playing Legacy? I think it's not really. There aren't many pilots who
Yeah.
try
that's
to
true.
reinvent the deck
There's
further.
some good guys. I think.
I mean,
Mike-
Brian Cook
there-
always works on this deck, so
Yeah.
on tests, and I don't think Ant has something. Has
such a leader for the deck.
yeah.
It was Cyrus for a long time. There's also Tugores, Rodrigo Tugores, of course. Then we have Michael Clifford, if you know
Yeah,
him.
Cliffy, yeah.
Cliffy. Control for Days was a guy, but I think he stopped a long time ago.
Does Tagore still play? And I think
not
he's
really.
now up to how's it called? Doomsday.
He
If I'm
played
correct.
some Doomsday, and he always here and then plays some Dark Depths piles,
Yeah.
Turbo Depths, for example. And yeah, he's now into different kind of decks.
Okay.
I think one of the only guys left is Cliffy, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I don't have his list at the moment, actually.
Okay, we see now he
And,
even played.
yeah, Doomsday is also a
Ninjas.
good point. I think maybe even Doomsday is just a better combo deck now than Ent.
Yeah.
I think so.
I also
so.
think so. Yeah, Doomsday is just really hard to hate out.
Yeah,
I mean, it plays forces.
yeah.
As a combo deck which plays forces, it's just
I mean, it's
really hard.
good, yeah. But I think Tess is better than
Yeah,
Doomsday.
it's faster. And
Yeah.
Whale of Summer Protection is just great.
I mean, I think both prevail at different metagames.
Yeah,
That's also
definitely.
true. Mm.
So yeah, I think both have their sweet spot.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable with Doomsday, I think you will be playing better
Actually,
on Doomsday than Tess, because I think in Legacy the player decides so many things. I mean, if you start out with a deck,
Experience is really key, yeah.
you're only playing okayish, and if you're playing good, you're really
Yeah.
good at a specific deck, and I think that's really key nowadays.
Oh yeah.
actually, Doomsday is a deck I'm very interested in, and I would love to try sometime. So
It's a great deck, yeah. I played the version with the white splash
with the Teferi,
with the Jeffrey, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great.
I mean, if you remember, we were talking, I think 1 year or 1.5 years before now,
yeah,
about what Storm deck would you like to play, and I said I'm more the French guy. Yeah, you can play Doomsday, and now Doomsday is absolutely meta.
yeah, I can remember this. We were standing outside the LGS, and
Yeah,
and I just told you about the new spicy Doomsday tech with experimental frenzy.
yeah, wow. long times. Yeah, it was amazing, because we were talking about the turn 1 Storm combo deck is how's it called, Spanish Inquisition.
Spanish Inquisition, yeah.
The turn 2 combo deck is Tess. The turn 3 combo deck is Ant, and the turn 4 combo deck is
It's
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
And nowadays, Tess is
Spanish Inquisition is
now is
non-existent
down to
because,
I
yeah.
think turn 2 to turn 3 to combo up, because you need the mana now to protect
Cloud,
yourself with the Whale of Summer, and to Thoughtseize earlier. And it's just amazing how the decks are shifting now and moving.
Yeah, Oracle, Thassa's Oracle was a really great boon for
It basically
Doomsday.
cleaned up the deck a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it's made a consistent good win.
Yeah.
The same with how's the combo deck called, where you target a creature infinite times with an effect.
Cephalid Breakfast.
Yeah, Cephalid Breakfast was infinitely getting better with Thassa's Oracle.
That's also a deck I want to try to I'll try to play,
But
yeah.
for that, I think you need the Place at Tundra.
Oh god. Plays a Chandra is really
I
hard.
think
I mean, I
the
got one,
versions
but
played 4
Whoa.
Tundras and 2 UCs.
okay. That's not affordable for me.
So yeah, I mean, it's amazing how the decks are moving. If you look at Rakdelva and tell a Rakdelva pilot from 3 years ago that he's playing the basic mid-range deck, he would laugh at you.
It's more chant actually at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah,
So speaking of Rakdelva, we hadn't really had much Rakdelva in our meta at the season end tournament.
so I would conclude the top 8.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So we had in the spots from 5th to 8th, we had Manon Danninger, the winner of the Showcase Challenge qualifier, which we had on podcast number 5, on Snowco. Then Stefan Otte, the winner of, I think, the first and the second LLL season.
Yeah.
On Snowco 2, Paul Bernsteiner on Rakdelva, myself on 4-Color Painter. Then we had Fabian Schweighofer on Myrtles. It's basically a version with 2 Monastery Mentors and a few baubles in the main deck.
Actually, I'm still thinking it's more like chasing cars, but
It's for sure more
he
like
says
chasing cars.
It's
but-
miracles, but for me it's chasing cars.
I mean, it's basically chasing cars with 2 Mystic Sanctuaries for powering up the Envidi Angels.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
so it's basically his hot take on it. Then we had the bad cousin of Tess in a 3rd place, if Brian Cook would tell it, at Awesome Tendrils from Andreas Leopolds Eder. And he was playing 2 Whale of Summer in the main deck and 1 in the sideboard. Then we had our own Philipp Klein on Buck Hugak coming out at 2nd place. And Philipp Hinterreiter winning his first ever tournament on Elves, with going on, I think, literally in the finals 2 times on turn 2.
Yeah, 2 times on turn 2.
It's
I couldn't do anything, but I was just so happy to let him do his thing, and I was really happy to see the joy in his eyes and his excitement, because, like you said, it was his first ever tournament win. I mean, he hasn't even won an FNM since
Since he joined.
before.
okay.
So-
So it's really good.
His first FNM win was
A tournament win.
a big turn, big for our
Yeah.
community.
I mean, he literally won a €200 card.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
and he had just the nuts 2 times.
And the only thing he said was missing was the music from Julian's stream.
the glimpse of nature.
The glimpse of nature music, yeah.
The turn was just insane. And I mean, I also had a relatively insane turn 2, because I had 2 Vengevines, a Hogak,
I mean, you had
2
18 power. on board.
18 I attacked for 8. I had 1 Vengevine, but I attacked for 8 and had 18 or 17 power on board for easy lethal next turn.
Yeah.
So I also had a very impressive turn 2. And after game 2, I wasn't really sure which hate Elfsters play, so I bought it versus Leyline,
Okay.
which is probably correct.
Yeah, I
he
think-
also showed me Leyline as a pregame action, so still think it was right. But I didn't mull very aggressively for Leyline hate.
Yeah.
So I mulled away 2 very slow hands with hate.
Okay.
With
with hate.
With hate, the anti-hate. And I kept a sketchy 5. And
Yeah.
he comboed me turn 2, so
Yeah, it's
you just
it's
don't
pretty
get
nutty.
there if you don't have the hate.
yeah.
But I wanted at least a functional hand.
Yeah, that you can do something yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's just keeping a okay-ish 7 with no hate because he won game 1 and he thinks he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But
that
if
can
you have
happen.
the perfect 7 with the hate,
Yeah,
you're not gonna
just-
complain.
But I was very happy for him. I generally
By the way, you should never decide your mulligans based on the outcome of the first game.
That's true.
No, not.
That's true.
But if you see that your deck is faster than your opponents, and you know that if you know the deck list from Bakugan nowadays, they are not playing any sweepers or any really good removal spells against elves. So you know that you are not in need of any specific hate if you are just keeping a good 7. If he's keeping this same 7 card hand on the draw now, or he was on the draw, I think, in game 2.
Yeah, he wasn't right.
itself.
If he had gotten the same 7
Yeah.
without Leyline, like in
He would
game
have won
1,
anyways.
he would have won anyway.
So I think it's just a plus if you have the lane in your opening hand, and if the hand is acceptable in itself, it's good.
Yeah.
It's probably good enough. Yeah, but it was a really, really great tournament. I mean, I had a lot of the second places in my life, but I can't complain actually.
Oh, that's fine.
And I'm really, really
Proud of you.
proud of him. That's the word I'm looking for the last 5 minutes, I think. I'm very proud of him, and it was just the joy in his eyes. And yeah, my list was very
Standard, I think.
standard. The only things changes I made were in the sideboard, because I didn't play sideboard discard. And instead of the discard, I played 2 Oko, Thief of Crowns, and 2 Mindbreak Trap. And yeah, for the Mindbreak Trap in the semi-finals, I played versus Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and I against Andy, and I had I think turn 3 kill because in game 1, because he mulled down to 4 and had a really bad hand, and my blind therapy hit his only cantrip.
Yeah.
So I easily took game 1, and game 2 I kept. I gotta say it was very. How do you say frech?
I think it was, yeah.
Cheeky.
Cheeky, yeah. A very cheeky end, because it was a no-lander with 2 Mindbreak Traps.
I mean, we are now in a meta without lures.
Yeah.
So it's actually possible to win against Ant without ever casting anything.
Yeah, and he just tried to
Turn 1.
to turn 1 me, and I just said, yeah, play it out, because can't do anything, yeah. And he went for the Ad Nauseam, and then he flipped the cards, and then he just well, why not just 4Cs you.
He went down to from 5 to 3 life.
To 3 life, yeah.
We had the 40s.
Okay.
Then you Mindbreak trapped the 40s. And then there was a pretty interesting spot. But I think he didn't saw it, because he had a surgical extraction available to
Surgical
pay
the
2
Mindbreak
life
Trap,
to surgical the Mindbreak Trap. Which then, because he had a Veil of Summer, which would have guaranteed him his win.
Yeah.
But he hadn't thought about it, so he just casted the Tendrils, and the second Mindbreak Trap got there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Did he have a second Forties?
He had a second Fortis, but he was at 1. Because he had only 4 mana available and was at 3. Because he had available
he had
2
5
mana.
mana after
No, after the Fortis,
after
he
the Ad Nauseam. After
Ad Nauseam,
4Cs, he had 4 mana, and
Yeah.
he couldn't
He had
fire off the second
Petal.
Force.
Okay, yeah.
Petal and 2 mana floating, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, yeah.
And so the
Yeah,
second
but
Mindbreak
this-
Trap
the
got there.
surgical would have worked, yeah.
Yeah, but if
You
you
don't expect Mindbreak Trap out of Hogak,
and you surely don't expect the second one.
yeah.
But if you're getting more comfortable, and that's the thing we were talking about before, play your deck more, play to your outs, play a lot of the deck, so you maybe... I mean, nowadays, if he is in the same position, he will surgical the Mindbreak deck nowadays.
Probably,
because he now knows, hey, I have to think about that. Maybe he's playing multiples of the card, and I have to play for the win. I mean, in that spot, it's a really really small misplay if you think about it, but
No,
it
yeah.
expected the whole match.
I was just gonna ask, was this game 2 or 3?
Game two.
So there was another game.
No,
Basically,
No,
if he
I
had
won
won.
first.
Yeah.
If he had won, it would be game 3. Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, if I cast Thoughtseize and my opponent casts Mindbreak Trap, I think I would expect another Mindbreak Trap. Because if this was the only card, I would want to hide it to have it in game 3. So that my opponent doesn't expect it in game 3. I would have conceded to the Thoughtseize then and not cast Mindbreak Trap.
yeah,
If it really was.
If it would have been the
So
only
I
card,
think
yeah.
since you cast it, I would have expected a second one.
okay, yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
makes
where you
sense.
come from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think this kind of gives it away actually.
yeah.
And then you have to search actually the
Yeah.
map break, yeah.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's a really really small case, and I think he hadn't thought about paying mana for a surgical. That it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was a pretty interesting stack, and yeah,
Yeah.
It was certainly
I-
a cool moment.
I was watching the game because Andy eliminated me the game before.
Yeah. So you went 5-8. You got
Yeah.
eliminated in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I went 3-1-1 in the Swiss during the last round, and my only loss was to Andy in the Swiss, and then due to unforeseeable circumstances and the rankings,
Yeah.
Andy went down to second place, even though he would have been first if another player would have been able to draw, because we had a lot of draws in the Swiss rounds before the last round, and therefore I was paired again against Andy, and for me I'm just playing 4 Force of Wills and 1 Whale of Some in the main deck, and this is not nearly enough to win against Ant. I mean, in the Swiss rounds I made one misplay where I would have been able to cast my Painter on turn 3 and had Whale of Summer protection for myself, but I hadn't thought about that he could combo with the Grape Shot too, and he was then able to combo with the Grape Shot
Okay.
because I had to blow my Whale of Summer because of the Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
And then went downhill. And he had Whale of Summer protection for the whole turn. So but that's the bad cousin of Test.
Oh yeah.
For sure, yeah. So it was a
Successful tournament.
successful tournament for us.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next one next year. And we'll see. Maybe we crack that 30 players then. So I just
hopefully.
hope. I just hope.
Maybe I think you told me that you have something in mind for the next tournament. So we will see what the next one will look like.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're not talking about the future. We're just
I'm not at the moment. I'm not sure
triggering.
what you mean, but
we have to trigger our European listeners. So
okay, that's what you mean.
I mean only the set.
Of the set, okay, yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Okay. So now I got you. It's,
Okay.
It's very late actually. So we're recording this at I think 11:30 p.m. So it's a little bit late.
Yeah. It's early enough.
It's early enough. Yeah, you're on vacation, so.
I mean, I have to get up early next day, but yeah.
Why?
Because I'm driving to Hallstatt tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have to be there very early.
Okay, yeah.
To visit all the city.
Aren't there limitations now? Because there were normally a lot of people in Hallstatt.
Yeah, due to COVID, there's not a lot of
Yeah, I
tourists.
mean the
but it's
touristic
mainly
from
Austrian
Asia.
tourists. Yeah,
Okay.
there's no tourism.
there is no
from Asia.
touristish.
That's good, and I hope I can exploit that fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I want to visit it.
the
You
the
get all
guys.
the Chinese water for Europe.
I mean, the guys from Hallstatt are really complaining about, we can't live there anymore because
All of the Chinese.
all of the
tourists.
Chinese tourists, but
Oh, yeah.
they wouldn't be able to live there without the Chinese
Chinese
tourists.
They certainly brought
Yeah, there
some money
wouldn't be
there.
any work or something. I
Yeah,
mean, the city
you would
lives
have
from
nothing
the
to
tourism.
do there.
Of course.
But if you want to visit Austria, definitely visit Hallstatt.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, and then take a dive to Linz and come to LGS.
Oh, yeah.
Play some Legacy with us.
Every
Okay.
Friday, 20:30
Yeah.
Central European time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for our next topic, it's a little bit controversial, I think. But due to the current circumstances, we have to at least try to navigate around it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are
just
talking
comment about
about
it.
the reserved list is a lie.
Just comment.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, we don't go into detail here. But the professor from the Tolarian Community College has revealed or has made a video on YouTube about how he says the reserved list is a lie.
Yeah.
And he made some good claims, some interesting takes, some hot takes. And we put the link in the show notes. Actually, everybody should watch it at least
It's a good
and,
video, yeah.
and build its own
Certainly, yeah.
Build your own mind
build
about
its
it.
own mind,
Yeah.
about it. For me, surely the reserved list is a little bit of a double-edged sword. I'm just interested in growing the community, and anything that helps the community grow is preferred for me. So
Yeah.
I'm totally for anything that can solve a reserved list issue.
Yeah.
For anything that gets more duels into the market, and so that people can play our beloved format. How that should work, I think there are more intelligent and more clever people than me to decide what to
What you're allowed
should
to do.
what should happen.
Yeah.
But I think if there's no if the reserved list doesn't get addressed in any kind of way, or if the prices spike too high, then it takes its toll on the player base.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't think that it really I don't think that if WotC has or let Legacy die like it did with Vintage, I don't think that's good for the game as a whole, because people need a kind of shelter where they can always play their old cards and just experience the nostalgia at least, and you don't have that with Modern or with Pioneer, and it's just another feeling. And I'm certainly a believer that Magic wouldn't exist without an old format.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
definitely. I think we need the old mother we can lean to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think for most of us, this is Legacy. And yeah, for me, I have started out with playing a lot of Modern, and for now I'm just, every time friends ask me, if I want to play Modern with them, I do not even know what I should play, because it's just now. So I mean, I have pretty much stopped playing around the time Faithless Looting got banned, and I
It's a long
do
time
not
ago.
know how the meta
More or less.
looks like, and I'm not sure what to expect. And Legacy is the safe playing field where I can enjoy most matters, I think. And if I enjoy a meta not, I can prove something I will enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think this is the biggest point in Legacy.
Yeah, even in this Oko Uro meta, it's at least enjoyable.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I play Oko
I
Uro
still
myself.
have fun, so yeah.
Yeah, but I play my personal takes, and I play with cards that are fun, that are fringe, that are not meta, and yeah, it's pretty good, I would say, because I don't have the choices to do that in Modern.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually need this format to thrive.
For us at least. So
Yeah. Speaking of fringe or playable cards, should we maybe have a look at the new spoilers from new sets
From the
coming up?
Zendikar Rising.
Yeah,
going back to Zendikar.
back to back to back.
Yeah, I mean, at first I would address
Here. Yeah.
not the general specific cards, but now we have the flip spell lands, which is a pretty interesting topic. I think
I saw a funny take on Twitter where somebody said the flip lands should be called cassette lands.
not the spell lands, but
not the spell lands,
the
but
land
but
lands.
the dual flip lands, because they're always the wrong side.
And I cannot agree more. I think it is a beautiful view. If you, I mean, you have to alter these cards with an A and a B side, and it would be hilarious. I would like that so much.
And then you always need a pencil to just
Yeah,
turn
to-
them
to
to the
unwind
other
it,
side.
Yeah, it would be amazing. I think the cassette
need to-
lands are good,
You need to rewind them when you're shuffling them to your deck after match.
but the problem with the cassette lands is that they are not fetchable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I think that now the mythic and the rare lands are pretty interesting.
The boat lands, I think.
The boat
that's
lands
what they're called now.
Are pretty interesting. I think I know these cards from Eternal card game, if you know that. That's from Direwolf. There is LSV is a CEO or a product entwickler or product developer.
Slipped into Norwegian there. Huh?
we are calling it Denglish. and and yeah, so they had the kind of cards, and I think this will be pretty interesting for the shuffling algorithm in
Arena.
in Arena, because if I remember correctly, there is a guarantee to hit
Two
is-
land drops.
two land
The
drops.
first two land drops, yeah.
Yeah. And-
Arena has an algorithm where they draw two hands,
Yeah.
and you get and the program chooses the one hand for you, which has the highest probability of hitting all the land drops.
Yeah. And with these, the shuffling algorithm could be, pretty much exploited.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they did back then in Allegiance, I think, Ravnica Allegiance, where you could play a 13 land mono red
Okay.
deck, and you mulled to a two lander. Well,
Yeah.
I think one land was enough, but you could mult until you hit at least one land, and it was just you had to have a second land drop.
Okay. Was this the Mulligan rule? If you have no lands in hand, you would be.
Yeah, I think that was
Okay, this was the time where manaless stretch was really, really good. No, but yeah, and in Eternal Card Game, you have the possibility to mulligan a single time, but you will keep another 7 hands, but you are not allowed to look at it if you mulligan to it, and you're guaranteed to 2 to 4 lands there. And with these algorithms, I think these could be, at least for digital card gaming, could be pretty much exploited. And I think for balancing, I think they said they are guaranteeing these cards for Kaldheim and Schools of Wizards or something like that. That
the design of the card.
the design of the cards, that we will have flip cards there, and there is a specific threshold for flip cards. It's just like every card that has a cycle ability on it.
Yeah.
If the card is playable on its own without the other side or without the other ability, the card is absolute bonkers and
Sure, yeah.
is and will be played, because
Yeah.
if you have literally the bolt lands without bolting yourself and just pinging yourself,
Yeah.
this would be way too good, because the
Yeah,
downside of
sure.
pinging yourself would be so minimal.
Yeah.
And I think these are all really, really expensive mythics.
So they're playing it safe here.
Yeah, so
Or
they're
at
really
least
playing it safe.
for eternal formats.
Yeah, and they are all sorceries, which is pretty high. Because if the Seagate Restoration, if we are looking at it, if this would be an instant, for standard, this card would be the best card. It would be a 4-off in every control deck, and it will be played in the control decks. But I do not know how high the number will be,
Yeah.
because it's just too good.
Yeah, for anybody, we have the full spoiler here. Not the full spoiler, but the spoiler until now. The Seagate Restoration, what Peter is talking about, is a blue card for 4 and 3 blue. It's a sorcery. It says, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. And it's a bolt land, where the other side is a flip land, and it enters the battlefield untapped if you take 3 damage.
Yeah.
And it just it makes blue.
And the card itself costs 7 mana, so
Yeah.
they're playing it pretty much safe here.
Yeah.
But
Which I find really, really great. We had very, very high power creep the last year. So seeing a set that's a little bit more
Conservative.
in power level is really great.
And yeah, we have a 3-mana planeswalker that doesn't seem broken. But
Oh my god, what's happening?
when was that the last time?
Excellent, I think. It was also
Oh
changed,
yeah,
the Cunning
Castaway, yeah.
Also 3-mana planeswalker that wasn't broken.
it was playable in standard.
Yeah, it's standard.
But that's okay.
This
We
is
said
the
that's
spot
not
we want.
broken, yeah.
It was a 2-off in the mono blue.
For my taste,
deck.
I would like planeswalkers that are playable in eternal formats. But planeswalkers like Liliana of the Whale, for example. 3-mana planeswalker.
I love
perfectly
Liliana.
balanced.
I have to admit, one of the designs that are coming out now and are really enjoyable about planeswalkers, it's Kaya. The 3-mana Kaya.
Usurper?
Yeah.
Because it has
It's
one
a little bit too
thing
weak
to
for
do.
my taste.
I think it's a
Liliana,
2-off in the 4-color loam decks nowadays, because it's really good if you power it out on turn 2 against elves, against Delver, because you get rid of all the 1 CMC creatures.
Of course,
and for that, it has a specific purpose. It's good in that kind of a metagame.
Yeah.
And that's something I like about cards.
Yeah,
If
sure.
they're good in a specific metagame, if you have to adapt your card choices, if your opponents are playing different cards. And so if you have, I play Oko because Oko hates something and it's a clock, you have to play Oko. But about Kaya, you are allowed to play Kaya and you maybe want to do something with her.
Actually, I'm leaning far out of the window here, but Kaya would also be, wouldn't be overpowered or wouldn't be broken if it was just for black and white. For
A 2-mana one.
CMC. Yeah.
I have to admit, I think she would be too good, because it comes down on the play after the 1-drop of your opponent.
But
She would definitely.
2 worst colors actually in Legacy, I think, at the moment. Nah, okay, that's Boris. That's red white. But
What do you say about strawberry?
that doesn't count. That's a combo deck. Combo decks don't count.
So yeah, Yeah, maybe she would. It could be that she is not too good, but the thing about Ren 6 was that it was too good against one drops because
Ren 6 was green.
yeah, and had bolts, but the point is, was Ren 6 an uptick on the -1? No, this was the lens. The pinging was the downtick from Ren 6.
Yeah.
But the problem is, these two cards fill the same spot. I mean, the color combination of Izzet is way better than Orzhov, but
You mean Gruul.
Mingrul.
You mean Gruul.
Ren
it was cruel, yeah. But and then the green was a bad color when Ren 6 came out. There was no Oko, there was no Oro.
And no Veil of Summer.
And no Veil of Summer.
I see where
But
you're
it
coming
was
from
still
there.
Rakdelva with Ren 6.
Yeah, but
Oh.
Rakdelva came out after Ren 6.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
because Ren 6 was
because
so
of-
good at
because of-
punishing one drops.
Yeah, because of Ren 6, yeah.
Because of Ren 6.
And-
the
and
interaction
maybe-
with Wasteland.
I mean, Kaya doesn't provide any card advantage with the +1. The ultimate is not the game-winning ultimate. Just like Ren 6 was just, you win the game effectively if you get to ultra because the opponent hadn't conceded. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Kaya would be okay, but I think it would be critical. It would be on the edge.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, but now back to Chase, the Mirror Mage. It's Planeswalker Chase for a free CMC for 1 generic and 2 blue. It has Kicker 2. And when Chase Mirror Mage enters the battlefield, if Chase was kicked, create a token. That's a copy of Chase Mirror Mage, except it's not legendary and its starting loyalty is 1. It has +1 loyalty, scry 2, and a 0 ability for draw a card and reveal it, remove a number of loyalty counters equal to the card's combated mana cost from Chase Mirror Mage, and it starts with 4 loyalty. So it has a pretty big starting loyalty, and the kicker is really interesting. I mean,
It's the first
it's the first Planeswalker with kicker. It's a really cool design. It doesn't have an ultimate, so it's just a card advantage on a stick.
But the problem, the card we have to compare here, I think is Narset. I think it would take nearly the same spot.
Yeah.
But it has some think twice as on a stick, basically, on a
It
addition with the kicker.
Yeah.
Because 2 mana is...
The first set of Think Twice and 3 mana was the flashback.
Yeah, and if you kick it, you can at least draw a card. An extra card.
So
I mean, you're counting in 2 mana for a card here.
Yeah,
and if it is a
copy-
land, you are allowed to draw an additional card.
Yeah.
A fail case.
yeah,
I
Because-
think if you reveal the card and what does it say? The zero?
You lose loyalty.
But you draw it anyway,
You draw it
so
anyway.
it doesn't matter.
No.
So for 2 additional mana, you draw a card basically.
Yeah.
Or
At the-
you
at worst
plus
case.
1 on the
Or
second
scry.
chase
Yeah.
and
If
down
you're-
take the big chase.
Yeah.
If
Or
you're-
something like that.
if you have warp presence and can
Yeah.
protect it, then it can easily snowball. So
What are
it seems good, but not
It's
broken.
fine, yeah,
It's
but-
fine, yeah.
Then we have, which was interesting, maybe for Legacy, but eventually mostly for Modern, is the Scourge of the Skyclaves, which is,
I'm not sure if this card is good actually.
there are pretty high debates. In Legacy, I think
No.
no, in Legacy it's not good because you have too much life gain and you don't lose that much life from your lands. It would be a 2 mana demon with kicker 5 where each player would lose half their lives rounded up, and it's equally a 20/20 minus the highest life total of the players,
Yeah.
which is good in Death Shadow shenanigans, but you have
Not
to
really,
pull down
because-
the
Really,
opponent's life.
Yeah, you have
To-
it's dependent on the opponent, and that's what I'm not liking about the card. You have to be. I think in a normal Death Shadow shell, it doesn't work.
because
And
you
let's be
don't
honest,
get your
the kicker
opponent
is
down.
unpayable.
The
It
kick is unpayable.
it
It's way too high.
Way too high.
Yeah.
Then
Up to the next, the Seagate Stormcaller. It's a creature human wizard for 1 and a blue. It has kicker for 4 and a blue. And it says, when Seagate Stormcaller enters the battlefield, copy the next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 2 or less. You cast this turn when you cast it. If Seagate Stormcaller was kicked, copy that spell twice instead. You may choose new targets for the copies. And it's a 2/1, so like Snapcaster Mage. I think also the kicker is unpayable in Legacy.
Of course, yeah.
Definitely.
It's for 7 mana, you simply can't do it. But the effect is very interesting because the copy gets put on a stack and isn't cast.
Gets around Chalice.
So it gets around Chalice of the Void. Some people say that this is going to be a really big role player. And it will make an impact. I'm
it could
not
be
sure actually,
but yes.
but I'm not ruling it out. So
It is a little bit more dependent on the cards you play. I mean, Snapcaster is of course more flexible, but this card lets you cast the card for free. Restricts you to CMC 2 or less, basically, and yeah, gets around Chalice and
yeah,
that's
it's
basically
mostly a card for Esper Vial. I
Yeah,
think
it
this
yeah,
is.
Vesper Vial is also
I
cool.
think you have no other card that would like to play it, because if you're even playing Snapcaster Mages in a Miracle Shell, I don't think you want to Seagate Oracle because you want to do something on your opponent's turn.
yeah.
So I don't think we are gonna see Seagate Oracle in our deck.
Seagate Stormcaller. not
Seagate
Oracle.
Stormcaller.
That will be the next Allosaurus Rider shenanigans.
What is the Oracle? Is this the popper, the 1/3 that looks
Yeah,
at the top 3 cards?
Yeah, that's the Oracle.
Okay.
Okay.
For next thing,
There's nothing really going on there.
the Magmatic Channeler.
Then we have the new red Tarmogoyf Magmatic Channeler, which is a one generic and 1 red for a 1/3 human wizard, as long as there are 4 or more instant and or sorceries cards in your graveyard. It gets +3/+1, which is basically a 4/4, which dodges bolts now. And you can tap it, discard a card, and exile the top 2 cards of your library. Then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn, which is a pretty interesting design for a card. But the problem we are having in Legacy is it will be easily outclassed by Tarmogoyfs.
Of course.
And at least there you can use the tap ability because you mostly want to use it for attacking, and it would be mostly a card for Blue-Red Delver, and
There's a lot
the
going
2-drop
on in
slot
the
is
two-drop,
with
yeah.
Pyromancer and Arcanist. It's booked out.
And I think you don't even play a playset of Tarmogoyfs right now in. Oh, I mean,
In
You
Ragdelver,
have a
you
2/2 split, I think, with Mandrills and Goyf.
I think you played 3 Goyfs and 2 Mandrills or something like that.
so before you, I think you would always play the max out the Goyfs before you play this card.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I mean,
Blue-Red
in
Delver,
a top decking situation, this card is better than Goyf if there is a board stall, but there we are talking about pretty specific board
Yeah.
states. And for Ragdelver, I think that it's competing with Goyf, and Goyf is better.
Yeah.
And if you think about Blue-Red Delver, if you have an Arcanist active, it exiles the instant and sorceries from your graveyard, and then you don't get to power up your own Magmatic Channeler. So I think they are counterparts.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting design, but I also can't see it in a deck like Ragdelver. And the second ability just screams, with the discard clause, screams loam or something for me.
Yeah.
But there's the first ability working against it. So I'm not sure if it will find a home.
Yeah, but
I,
for
I
loam,
can't see it actually now. So
you have Bob in that spot.
yeah, that's
And
what I
it's
mean.
the better 2-drop there. I don't see it
I
making
also
any
have
waves in Legacy.
No, for
I
sure.
think this card could be played in Modern or something like that. I think if a mono rod
Mono red.
a mono red deck is available in Standard, it will be played, but for Legacy it will be, maybe we will see a small deck there it is played, but that's everything. Maybe it will be adapted in mono red burner or something like that. But yeah, I don't think so.
No. It makes two less. The next one is the Confounding Conundrum. It's for 1 and a blue, an enchantment. When Confounding Conundrum enters the battlefield, draw a card. So it basically cantrips. And whenever land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if the player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. So it's basically a fetch land hate.
Yeah.
Which with a cantrip staple on it.
Also against lands in some way with exploration, what you can think about, or crop rotation decks.
What is the enchantment called for lands that lets them discard their whole hand end of turn?
Fast bond.
Mana Bond.
Mana bond.
Mana Bond. Fast Bond is vintage.
Fast bond is
Yeah, I was wondering. Why
it's
you would-
I think
Mana
it was.
Bond, yeah.
I think it
Mana
was
bond.
played at one of, or is it even nowadays played?
Yeah, I think it's
Really?
played
Okay.
still as a one-off, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it lets you choose if you want to discard your hand size.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It seems interesting. It will certainly get brewed around.
Yeah.
Daniel, you said you would try it in a control shell.
Basically, yeah. Because lots of the tempo-driven decks that are trying, or of course all decks that have to wait a turn before they use their mana. I mean, they don't have to wait, but they are getting set back by having to bounce the land back to the hand if they fetch for land. I think this is a good thing for a control deck to gather resources, make your land drops on your own, to slowly, to have simply have more time.
Yeah, I think this is on the same page. We have Archon of Emeria, which is another free drop for Death and Texas, which is a flying 2/3, which says each player can't cast more than one spell each turn, and non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped, which is basically a similar effect if we see it about land hate, but blue gets the 2-drop and white gets the 3-drop.
Yeah.
And 2 mana is
And the
so
other cantrips.
much better, and the cantrips even. I mean, for the white one you get a threat, but
Yeah.
it trades for Delva.
2/3 isn't really a threat actually. The problem with this Archon is, although it's a really pushed white card,
I think this might be just at least an upgrade to the bigger Thalia, the 3 mana Thalia.
yeah, but the 3 mana Thalia isn't the Death and Texas card, it's a Soldier Stompy card. Or
they don't
Eldrazi
play it?
Texas.
Because I
No.
saw it sometimes in Death and Texas.
Oh, I think you saw Soldier Stompy.
Yeah, probably. Or Eldrazi in Texas,
Okay.
because that's where the big
Not
Thalia...
even as a one-off?
No.
Okay.
No,
Because it suffers from the same problem like the
I
Archon.
mean, it is a free drop, yeah.
it gets bolted.
That's not the problem. The Archon is really great. It's a pushed white card, and you would certainly love it as one-off if you could tutor it.
Okay, yeah.
And like the big Thalia, you can't tutor it with Recruit of the Guard,
Okay, yeah.
and so you would have to play more than one, and you simply don't have the
Yeah,
room,
yeah, yeah.
or and you don't want to play more than one.
No,
If it would be tutorable, it would be great. So if it would be a 2/1 or a 3/1, it would be really cool. But I don't think it will see play.
Is there anything else going on?
The Night Goyf Scavenger, or how do you say it? The Night Goyf
I think it was the
Vampire Nighthawk,
Vampire Night Goyf.
Vampire Night Goyf. Yeah,
I'm not
Vampire
sure.
Night Goyf. Yeah. It's a 3-mana vampire rogue with flying death touch lifelink, so ability soup. And Nighthawk Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyard. That's where the Tarmogoyf comes from.
okay.
It's a 1 plus. So
1 plus X.
1 plus X, and toughness is 3. It's a really pushed card, but I don't think it will make waves in Legacy.
I don't think so.
For 3 mana, it's just too highly costed.
I mean, now at least it's a rare, because if the Vampire Nighthawk back in the days was pretty much for draft the best card you can open, because it was just way too good statted. But I don't think that we will see any play of it, because Bolt is the common removal spell, and if a 3-drop gets bolted, that's not good. About boltable 3-drops, we have another white one.
So that's a Skyclave Apparition. It's a creature core spirit for 1 and white. Why always double white?
White.
Why can't it just cost 2 and white? I mean, always so hard on the mana base. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card, and it's a 2/2. So, actually,
it's
that's
kind of an removal, permanent removal.
it's an
but
Oko removal for Death and Taxes.
basically, yeah.
You can basically elk the Oko.
I mean,
Yeah.
it gets rid of Ensnaring Bridge, it gets rid of Karn, it's
And it's
It's-
tutorable.
yeah, and it's getting rid of a lot of stuff. I think this is a great designed card. One thing that I really like is that you can flick it in response to the trigger, because the triggers are two-sided.
Oh yeah, the
So-
triggers. I see it now. The triggers are
Trigger
aren't
shenanigans.
in one line. So
Yeah.
so
There are two different.
they're two
separate
separate triggers.
So if you play it and then in response activate
Flicker
the
it.
vial and flick it with a Flicker Wisp, the card from your opponent will get exiled, and
They
then
don't get the token.
they don't get the token. Then Skyclave Apparition comes back and gets to exile another thing.
Yeah.
So this is really, really good, and I like it.
Yeah, that's a cool design. We'll certainly see. We will certainly see it played in Death and Taxes as an Oko out. So
And for Stompy decks and something like that.
yeah, for sure.
Because
For sure.
it gets rid of a lot of permanents. It
Yeah,
gets
the
rid
double-
of
the double white
Uro
is-
at least.
The double white is already really hard for Death and Taxes, and
But you're
it's-
playing the wild too, so it's
Okay, yeah. For Death and Taxes, it's playable. In Stompy, the double white is probably too hard
and
for Soldier Stompy or Angel Stompy or something.
I see it. And one thing is that it's a spirit which doesn't fly.
Oh
I
yeah.
think,
But I think that you can play it in Esper Vial or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, I think the biggest aspect of the card is that is tutable. That you can tutor for it.
Yeah.
Because I think otherwise you would just play Judgment.
Yeah, you would certainly also like the same with the Archon. You
I
probably
mean, would you
only
play
want one.
Judgment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death in Texas, I think so. But I'm not sure. I think main deck, not really. Yeah, this card is more main deckable because it is
Because it's tutorable.
yeah, that's what I said. Is the biggest aspect of it is because you can tutor for it.
Yeah. And which is important because it says non-land, non-token permanent.
Yeah.
It doesn't get rid of
Merit
Large,
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
which is pretty huge.
Yeah.
So we're already going through the uncommons now. There isn't really much there. There's one thing I certainly
There's one card which is called, I think, Cleansing Wildfire.
Cleansing.
The 2-drop that basically is a ghost quarter that cantrips.
Yeah, I
This is-
gotcha.
This card might be interesting.
I'm searching it now. It's
This
Cleansing
one, yeah.
Wildfire.
Yeah.
It's a sorcery for 1 and red. It says destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle their library and draw a card. So actually,
strong,
guys, land destruction is back on the menu. So
Yeah.
Wizard said they won't print land destruction under 4 CMC, I think. Demolish was the last.
Or 3. I think 3, right?
The last years was always Demolish.
Because you in standard you don't want a 3-mana land destruction, but this one fetches up basics, so
For standard,
for
it's fine.
standard it's fine, and I think they need it for standard with a lot of the cards. I think you in standard you have Castle of Evenbrook, or how it is called, the one that ramps you for 2, which is pretty important. But I think this one could be hate against Rakdelva or Bagdelva, which are not playing any basics. So this could be played, but I'm not sure. I think this card is really hard to evaluate because it doesn't affect the board. It's maybe a sinkhole, but would you play a sinkhole against Delva? I think we are in a pretty tough spot, because I don't think that sinkhole would be that great against Delva. Because you need to invest. I mean, it's the sinkhole that cycles, which would be great, but yeah, it will be interesting. Maybe we will see it, maybe we won't, but
I'll definitely get 4 of them, because it's just a common, and the art is gorgeous.
yeah, that's definitely
The art is gorgeous.
And
so.
it's certainly a strong card.
And it's a strong card, and we'll see. I won't say it won't be played, but I think I'll brew with it. So at least I'm gonna play it.
About gorgeous artwork. The new Negate artwork is pretty gorgeous.
That's cool. It's
I have to admit.
really beautiful.
And we now have, I think they say it's 10 years of Negate in standard.
It's basically an E in every set now.
Yeah.
And always with a new art.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the new one is, I think, the best.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
It seems like it was it.
Then we have the second
Steplings, the second Steplings. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's the Akum Hellhound for 1 red. It's a creature elemental dog and has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, Akum Hellhound gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and it's a 0/1. So it's basically a color shifted Steplings, and the Steplings is a cat and this is a dog. So that's just perfect. It's a perfect pair.
Cat and dogs.
And
It's dog shift.
Dog shift.
It's got dog shifted.
Steplings is a good boy now. And 8 Steplings make probably a landfall deck semi-viable.
I mean, I think
maybe not in Legacy, but I'll probably try it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty hard spot to brew with. I think there was, I think it was even a Living in Legacy tournament which was won by Naya Agro or something like that.
Okay.
This was a deck playing, how's it called, the 3-mana cat? The 1-mana 3/3 cat.
The Wildner Cattle.
Wildner Cattle. And he even said his deck was just not good. He just had amazing luck because a non-blue deck with such bad threats is not really playable. I mean, the Steplings Lynxes are able to be 4/5s, but you need a lot and a lot of fetches for that to have in your opening hand. And the problem, I think, with landfall aggro decks is you are an aggro deck, so you don't want to draw lands, you want to draw threats.
Yeah.
But because you are a landfall deck, I mean, lands are not dead draws, but you could play a better creature suite, and you would be happy drawing no lands.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now you are pretty much in a spot. If you have a 2-land opening hand with 3 Steplingses, what are you gonna do? Because you play a Steplings out on turn 1, and then fetch on turn 2 and don't draw your 3rd land. You now have 3 0-1s on the battlefield as an aggro deck, and this doesn't feel really good.
This is a deck where spell flip lands would really shine. If
Yeah,
they
but
had
you
one-
need spell flip creatures for this one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just one spell that is viable in a deck, and you can flip it as a land.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly what you
definitely,
need
yeah.
in that kind of deck.
this would be something you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since we talked about that before,
I mean, you have spell flip creatures,
I mean they are not really good.
but they should be at least semi-viable to play
Yeah.
on their own.
on their own, yeah.
You should have something. I mean, it would be insane. Imagine 1 and a white. O2. I mean, a 2 mana Steplings, which would be a land on the flip side. This card would be bonkers. It would be insane, I think.
Maybe.
That
Not
could
sure.
be great, yeah.
Or if it would be a 1/1 with landfall gets +2/+2. I think this card with a land on the back. I mean, in standard you now have a rare. I think a 3 mana mammoth. How is it called in English? An elephant. Which is a land on the backside, and this is 3/3 for 3 mana, which gets landfall +2/+2.
Yeah.
But these are too expensive to play in aggro decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 3 mana, that's very expensive.
Because
yeah.
the 4th and the 5th land is
You should
too
probably
accessible.
shall win on the 3rd to 4th turn. So
Yeah. definitely. I mean,
I
definitely. on the
think I
4th turn.
brew something up with the 8th links and just try the moto. If it doesn't work, then just abandon the idea again.
Yeah. One thing that got spoiled too is the crab
The-
5 to 8.
The
But-
ring crab, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Legacy, it's not that much playable because you're mostly targeting yourself with the crabs nowadays, in Legacy at least, and these are strictly mill your opponent. So these will be played in Modern 8 crab, but unfortunately a no-go.
But I heard
For
about
Legacy.
a crab shack deck in Legacy,
Okay,
and I haven't seen a list or something, but I'm very intrigued. So that actually got my attention.
okay. Is it a
Um,
mill, 8 crab mill deck?
I don't know.
Okay.
He just tweeted like 8 crab 8 Eric's crab shack is back on the menu, something like that. Then
Okay, so we will keep you updated in the next episode
Maybe,
of our
yeah.
podcast, I think so.
Maybe it's the new newcomer deck.
Yeah, the
probably
new,
not. But
the new hotness in Legacy.
Hot
So-
shit.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the party mechanic, which is
Yeah, nothing for Legacy.
nothing for Legacy, but
it's
from
certainly
a
interesting to
design.
play in standard.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful designed, but hopefully we have one set where we have some semi-playable Legacy cards which will be introduced a little bit, will change some archetypes a little bit, but
Actually, I'm very
I think
happy that that's not the case here now. We need certainly some room to breathe from the last year. If there isn't a shake-up every set, I'm really happy. So
yeah, I think we have nothing that will break the format. Definitely nothing
we have
that
something
looks stronger than
yeah, we have something
Oko.
to brew and something to work with, but nothing really
Yeah.
impressive. So
yeah,
it's a cool set. I'm looking forward to it,
yeah, definitely.
and I'll certainly get
So
some
it's-
cards. Yeah.
With that, it's time to relax a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You've got to get up very early, so I think we wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope you had at least a little bit fun with us tonight. And
We certainly had.
yeah, for
us.
sure.
And I hope you listened through us. I think we had now recorded for nearly 2 hours.
At least it feels like it. But we will
I
check
think we
later.
started at about 20 past 10 or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think it would be about 2 hours. But
So-
yeah, for at first we thought we had
nothing.
we had nothing to talk about, but it was more than we thought. So yeah, Peter, how can people find you if they want to get in touch with you?
You can find me at Twitter at Unicorn Lord, but the O in the Lord is a 0. And another thing, you maybe will find me streaming now a little bit more regularly on Twitch at Unicorn Lord MTG. I will be recasting the FNMs from our local league, from the All.
Austrian Legacy
And
League.
yeah, that's mostly for me. What about you, Daniel?
As always, of course, my website's greatness@anycost.com, or also on Twitter, which is at FlyingDelver, where we can find me. Philip, we can for you.
Yeah, like always, I'm on Twitter. It's at PhinekMTG. It's PHINEKMTG. And I'm also on Twitch, but I'm not really streaming very often. It's also at PhinekMTG. And also you should follow our podcast on Twitter. It's at response_legacy. And you can also follow our league for the latest updates. It's at Austrian_legacy. And also we're streaming every Friday our league tournament on Twitch at Austrian_legacy. It's happening every Friday on 20:30 Central European Time. So that's about 11 or 11:30 Pacific Time. That's the only thing. That's the only time zone I know from out of my head. So, sorry for everybody on the East Coast.
So yeah, I think
we've got a wrap, and we'll see you again next time in about 2 to 3 weeks. I think. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And with that, let's say in response, the end.